In conclusion, a joke about time travel, but first, the rest of everything I'm going to say. Buddhism, big fan of Buddhism, ordered a book on it. It hasn't arrived yet, so I presume it's been within me all this time. And first chapter's probably like, get rid of all your possessions. I'm like, way ahead of you, don't even have the book. So, bring it, Buddhists, a thing they rarely hear. I like Buddhists because I've never heard of them murdering everybody throughout history. Like, there's no historical, like, Buddhist Inquisition or Buddhist Crusades. I've never heard of a Buddhist extremist. Like, what would that be? Just a guy taking a longer nap, I imagine? Look out, suspicious. I'm not a Buddhist, I think. I don't know, could be. But I was raised Jewish. Not that Jewish, I'm this Jewish. Like, I would run from Hitler, but that's about it. Especially today. I would definitely run from Hitler today because he would be a zombie today. You should all run from zombie Hitler, Jew or not Jew. You should run from zombie Gandhi, for that matter. Run more from zombie Gandhi, I would say, because he fasted during life. He's probably hungrier in death. So look out the most for zombie Gandhi. Also the name of my favorite new hipster band that does not yet exist. That's how cool I am. So the thing about time travel is if it exists in the future, we all know, obviously, Jews are going to use it to go back and try to kill Hitler before all the shenanigans began, perhaps a harsher word than shenanigans. Hasn't happened yet. Hitler's still in our past, I believe. If you know otherwise, great. But Hitler is still there because it's not like Back to the Future. That's not how time travel works. It's, you can't just go back and screw everything up. Great movie, Back to the Future, great movie. Wrong about time travel. Oh, yeah, thanks for one of those, you agree with something I said. Thank you. Back to the Future, at the end of Back to the Future 1, which they didn't call that, they called it The Great Back to the Future. At the end of that movie, spoiler alert, it came out in 1985, you had a little while to see it. So Doc Brown flies up in the time machine car and he's like, Marty, get in quick, we gotta get to the future, your kids, they're in trouble, hurry. Even as a kid, I remember thinking, like, why do you have to hurry? You have a time machine. You invented it. They're like, we're gonna be late. We'll just set it for earlier then. That's literally how it works. You're a doctor, I hear. They made 3 of those movies. They made 1 Groundhog Day, sort of a travesty. I feel like, love Groundhog Day. I have a friend, George, in New York, he thought he saw Bill Murray on the streets of New York. He was like, Bill Murray! He yelled it at him. And so that guy who he yelled at looked back and was like, nope. And my friend George went home all sad. He's like, I thought it was Bill Murray. Next day, turns on the TV, sees a talk show. Bill Murray's the guest. It was that guy. It was exactly that guy. He's like, man, so Bill Murray is such a great actor. He was able to convince my friend George that he was not Bill Murray. Like, unbelievable, Bill Murray. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for clapping for how great an actor I said Bill Murray was. What a great story. What a story about Bill Murray I just told you. And about my friend George. Why did I make it about George? It could have been about me. I could have said I saw him. But I'm not a liar, number 1. Number 2, I don't want you guys thinking I'm the kind of guy who yells Bill Murray at Bill Murray. Because I don't do that. I wouldn't do that. If I saw Bill Murray on the street, I would yell like, Phil Connors, and then I'd run around the block and yell it again, run around the block and yell it again and again and again and again. Have somebody film it, call it Groundhog Day 2. So get another one of those up on the board. So that's not how time travel works. Here's how I think it does work. I believe you can go back in time, you just can't change anything. Physically, you cannot. Like, you go back and try to shoot Hitler, your gun will jam. Because you didn't shoot Hitler. The first time around, you were just there with your gun jamming the whole time. Maybe it's like Terminator, where you can go back, but you can't bring weapons or clothing through, so a bunch of Jews are just turning up naked in 1940s Germany. Neither the time nor the place. So even if all that is the case, even if Jews know that they are doomed to never be able to kill Hitler, everyone in the future, they're going to be resilient and resourceful. Every Jew with access to a time machine is going to go back and try to complete this mission. Hundreds, thousands, millions of Jews, which means that if that's the case, then growing up, from Hitler's perspective, Jews are just trying to murder him all the time. That's all that child Hitler knows, is that Jews are dicks from the future. They are constantly coming out of the woodwork, throwing bombs and knives, shooting lasers, taking off his mustache. Probably that's why that happened, because he is barely able to get out of the way. He's barely able to matrix out like a neo-Nazi, if you will. And thank you guys so much.